Welcome back to One Crafty Ginger. I'm Mercedes. If you enjoy quick and easy craft and DIY projects, clearance finds, thrift store flips, and some rescue dogs, then you're in the right place. And speaking of rescue dogs, my girls Tina and Louise had a birthday this week. They are now 2 years old. And tomorrow we will be celebrating by having a party for them because yes, I am that dog mom that has birthday parties. I know. I'm sorry. I love my girls. I can't help it. So to celebrate, I will be making them a pet-friendly birthday cake. Well, actually, 2 birthday cakes because they each got to have their own. So I wanted to share with you guys the recipe that I will be using and how I make their birthday cake. So if you have fur babies at home and you want to give them a little extra something for their birthday or just because, you can make some for them as well. As always, a list of the supplies needed and the recipe will be in the description box below, and so you guys can make it at home. And so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take a cup of flour and then a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and then we're going to combine that together in a separate bowl and try not to make a huge mess like I am. And then you're going to put that aside. And then in a larger bowl, we are going to combine 1/8 of a cup of vegetable oil. So I just took a 1/4 cup measuring cup and just filled it halfway through because that's 1/8 of a cup. So 1/8 a cup of vegetable oil. And then we are going to take a half a cup of pumpkin puree. Not pumpkin pie mix, but just puree. So I just use this 100% pure pumpkin from Kroger. And we're going to get that in our bowl. And we are going to take half a cup of applesauce, which is roughly about an entire container of applesauce. So this applesauce is, I just want to let you guys know, unsweetened applesauce. It's unsweetened plain applesauce, so there's no extra sweetening, there's no flavoring. It's just plain old applesauce out of a cup. And then we're also going to need a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. So I'm using Simple Truth organic peanut butter. You want to make sure, guys, when you get your peanut butter that you check the ingredients. You don't want anything that says xylitol. And that is spelled, let's see how it is spelled. I want to double check. Let's see, Xylitol. If it has xylitol in it, you do not want to give it to your dogs because that is poisoning and it will kill your dogs. So just make sure you just get some plain natural peanut butter, and you're going to need a 1/2 cup. I mean, sorry, 1/4 cup. So just scoop out some peanut butter. We go through a lot of peanut butter here in our house with our doggies. You guys have any dogs at home? I would think so if you're watching this. You have dogs, or you know somebody with dogs, or you're interested in dogs. Comment down below. I'd love to know what kind of doggies you have, or had, or want to have, or your friends have, or your neighbors have, or your mom has, your dad has, whoever. Alright, so that's roughly a 1/4 cup of peanut butter that we are going to add to the mix. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to make sure we got everything in our bowl here. We got our vegetable oil, our peanut butter, our applesauce, and our pumpkin. So we're going to mix all of that up. Get it all nice and mixed in here. Stir it up until it's all combined. Okay, and once that is all combined, we are going to be adding in 1 egg. And you're going to mix that in there. Sorry for the noise. It's kind of a slushing noise. Slopping it around in there. Alright, so once you have it all combined, all the wet ingredients combined, you're going to add in the flour and baking soda mix. So I kind of just do it a little bit at a time until I get it all fully incorporated. Because it can get a little crazy with all the flour if you just dump it all in at once. Tell you what though, it does smell really good. Smell that peanut butter and that pumpkin. And then just get that all mixed in. You guys celebrate your doggies or your kitty cats or your guinea pig or your horse's birthdays? Anybody else out there a birthday celebrator for their pets, or is it just me? I'm just excited that I know the girls' birthday. All my other dogs, I mean, they've all been rescues, but all their birthdays have been guesses. But the girls were dropped off by a local lady that had bred her basset hound, who was a mom, with a German pointer, who was a dad, and tried to sell the puppies. And when the puppies wouldn't sell, she dropped them off at our local animal shelter. And the girls, I'm sure I mentioned this, they came in, they were 8 weeks old when they were dropped off, actually not quite 8 weeks old. They had damaged right eyes. So if you guys watch my videos, you'll see that the girls now are missing an eye because they did end up developing glaucoma and had to have their damaged right eye removed. But that's okay. They had it damaged when they were so young that they couldn't see out of it, so they don't know any different. So it does not slow them down. All right, guys, so that is a cake mix. And you're going to put it in either an 8x8 pan or an 8-inch round pan. I have greased this pan because I don't want the cake mix to stick. And then we're just going to pour the cake batter in there. Like so. Pour it all in. Get every little bit of it here. And you don't want to feed this to your dog. You don't want to let them lick the spoon because the egg is raw. There is a raw egg in there, so as tempting as it might be to let your puppies or your babies lick the spoon, you don't want to do it with the raw egg. You don't want them to get any sort of like salmonella poisoning or anything like that. So then we're just going to use our spatula here and spread the cake mix evenly across the pan, or as evenly as possible because it is kind of lumpy and sticky. I'm trying to even it out. Especially like in the middle, it kind of rises in the middle, so you might want to spread stuff to the edges. Like that. Trying to get it as even as possible here. As even as you can be. Alright. So now this is going to go into my oven that has been preheated at 350 degrees on the center rack for, let's see, roughly 25 to 30 minutes. All right, it has been 25 minutes. I'm going to take a toothpick, stick it in the center. If the toothpick comes out clean like this, your cake is done. If it comes out and it still has some gooey bits on it, it needs a few more minutes. But mine is done in 25 minutes. So I'm going to leave it on this baking rack here. I'm going to cover it with a towel so nothing gets on it. And I'm going to wait until the cake is cool to the touch before I frost it because I don't want my frosting to melt all over it. So we'll be back in a few. Okay, my cake is pretty much cool to the touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this circle biscuit cutter or cookie cutter, whatever you want to call it, to make 2 circle cakes for the girls. So I'm just going to push down. On here and here. And then, theoretically, we will scoop. Perfect. So I'm just placing it into one of these little Rubbermaid take-along containers. One for each of the girls. To serve it in. And don't worry, this loveliness is not going to be thrown away. It's going to be cut up into pieces for Mr. Dougal to have some cake as well because he deserves cake. I love him too. So I'll cut some of this up so he can have some cake, and then I'll cut the rest of it up into little bite-sized treats. And the next thing we need to do is frost our cake. Alright guys, the frosting is super easy to make. We are going to take a container of plain Greek yogurt. And just dump it into a bowl. And then we are going to take roughly a 1/4 cup of our natural peanut butter. I'm not going to measure it. I'm just straight up going to eyeball it, guys. But feel free to measure. Like I said, I'm kind of eyeballing it. And then we are just going to stir that up. To make our frosting here. And man, oh man, guys, does this smell good too. I'll tell you what, this does smell good. And it's human grade, it's just Greek yogurt and peanut butter, so if you guys wanted to make a healthy frosting for yourself, you could always whip some of this up. Alright, so I'm just going to take my cake. I'm going to get about half of the frosting out of the bowl here, or maybe a little less. We'll see. And then just spreading the frosting on the cake. Frosting it like we would like a cupcake or a cake. Nothing fancy here. Although there's nothing that says you guys can't get fancy. I mean, if you guys are super creative like that, then by all means, you can get like the fancy cake nozzle like they sell at Dollar Tree and make bougie, like fancy frosted designs on there. Whatever you guys really want to do. But I'm just going to make it simple because I'll be honest, this won't last long. The girls aren't really going to care what it looks like. I'll cover up any bare spots here. And that, my friends, is it. There is the girls' frosted, homemade, dog-safe birthday cake. And because it is got the yogurt on there, I'm going to put it in the fridge If you want, you can always take your cake and just put it in a container and frost it right before you go to serve it. But it is yogurt, so if you're not going to be serving it right away, you do want to go ahead and cover it up and pop it in the fridge until you're ready to serve it to your pups. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Moving forward, I will have videos like this on Tuesday, which I will affectionately be calling Treat Tuesday, where I will share with you an easy and quick treat that you can make at home for yourself or your fur babies. You never know what might show up on this channel. So keep a lookout. If you enjoyed Treat Tuesday and you'd like to see more, please comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. If you also like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It's completely free and it helps a girl out, and I appreciate it. And I also want to say thank you so much to those that have recently come to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. And to those of you that have been with me from the long haul, thank you so much for sticking by me. And speaking of appreciation, the winner of my Spill the Tea subscriber appreciation gift is hidden in this video, so you might want to make sure you're looking out. If that winner is you, please email me at the email address in my About Me page so I can get your prize out to you. I want to thank you guys again for being with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week, and until next time, goodbye.